Okay, yeah, the red light's on. It doesn't mean it's nighttime. Yes, I'm live. Okay, this does not mean what some people think it might mean. Or it could mean stop. I would suggest some of you. Okay, some of you blazing through stuff, and it's just like, well, did you even stop to learn from your mistakes? Oh, you didn't make any. Okay, are you Jesus? Yeah. Anyway, my name is Dr. Lueth. It's 12:45 p.m. on July the 7th, 2025. That's 12:45 p.m. Eastern Time, New York, USA. So I practice in front of the camera because I'm doing this for a lot of different reasons, but I'm always open to any kind of conversation a mature adult wants to have. Now, when it comes to certain things, I'm only permitted to work with and help males. Okay, there are people who probably know what I'm saying, but yeah, I don't have anything against women. I mean, I'm I'm attracted to dudes, right? I'm a flaming hetero. Seriously, if there was anything in my youth that was like the biggest problem for me was I just like dudes. Yeah, what can I tell you? Right? Oh, and I've been celibate for 12 freaking years. It's like, oh my God, people want me to be in a good mood. Like, I express my feelings, and then they try and, like, minimize my feelings. Like, oh, well, maybe you can take a shot to calm down. I'm like, well, maybe you should just let me smoke my medical marijuana since it's legal in the state of Maryland, there, Upper Bay. Counseling and support services who really should be checked out by people who give a shit. Jump in here. I'm not fucking kidding. Okay? They don't know how to handle adult autistics. They say in public and paper that they're doing something, and the CEO is clueless. Okay? Untrained people are handling people with special needs. Some disabled one way, some disabled two ways. I can't be really seen as the crazy one. Although when it comes to certain things, yeah, I will use every single thing as a weapon. Every last single thing is a weapon. I don't care. Look, you can poke out two eyes at once, man. I'm well trained, which is something else that I have to, yes, bring to the attention of some people. Is like, you don't really want to get up all in my personal space trying to threaten me with something, weapon or not. Okay, it's just not a good idea to do that. I tell people these things, right? I'm not trying to be all, I'm like secret agent crap. It's just, I got raped and tortured when I was younger. Okay, I did the work and took the time to talk it out, to cry it out, to put it behind me. I took the time to do that. Therapy. And there are a lot of people who don't think they, but see, that's the thing is sometimes it's just you need to talk to another human being who is willing to listen to you. Because people at home are not listening to you, or people at work are not listening to you, or they don't understand, or you don't understand. We go through these phases in life. They're normal and natural. Okay? Human emotions are normal and natural. Okay? Now, if somebody wants to say that the humans are hated, and I'm like, by who? Okay, you guys say a lot online and on TV, and I listen because I'm a good listener. But it also makes me years in, probably since I was like 10 years old. I'm 53. So I've had a good, what? Yeah, 43 years of training. Okay. It happened to me that way because, yes, autistic. But my parents thought it was just, okay, well, they told me not to tell anyone, although, like I said, use the term savant. Okay. That was back then. This is now. We're in a spectrum. But the Yes, adults who have not been ever diagnosed properly and probably have had all kinds of other stuff happen and go through tests, when actually what it is how autism works. I never told anybody I wanted to be cured of autism. That's a ridiculous statement to me personally. But there are a lot of things that a lot of people need to learn. And the United States of America, listen to me, this is everybody's job who's a legal citizen. Every single last man, woman, and child who's a legal U.S. citizen. First thing, don't defraud the government, because most of the time you're defrauding hardworking taxpayers. True statement. Plenty of evidence. You really want it? I'll write you up a nice thing, do a PowerPoint. Make sure you understand before I leave. Okay? Right. So that's what I'm saying. Some of us do have spiritual gifts, but they can be turned on and off. You just know, right? Okay? And and people will test that, and that I don't mind. Some people to say debunked. Okay, you have to have better evidence. Okay, so I don't try and run around doing that, but there are some things where science it really does help provide the truth. So not all science is lies. Okay, there have been philosophers, clergy, common people, people who I don't even know, tons and tons of different varieties of people walking around planet Earth, and people's cultures and other kind of things will influence certain things. And I'm clergy, okay, but yeah, that's the point. Like, Catholics are just like, well, you didn't go to seminary, and you're not cool, and you're a woman. Okay, yeah, I went to like seminary online and books and listening to shitloads of different, you know, pastors and preachers, all the way from Joseph Prince to locally Dante L. Hickman, Dr. Dante L. Hickman, Bishop Senior. Yeah, I don't know. He's got a lot of those titles. Okay. I don't need titles, but I put Dr. Me in simply because people do have to respect the fact that I went through all kinds of schooling. And most of it I pay for myself, or I worked there and I got tuition remission, or I got partial pay. So I'm used to working and going to school at the same time. Well, I had to work on it because I had to go back to school in my late 40s. And that was just like, oh, I've been out for a while. I got to do this, got to do that. People need to understand how this internet thing is going and happening. Okay? So, internet service providers, you might want to care in the United States of America about the fact that when push comes to shove, okay, anti-terrorists who work jobs in the United States of America will indeed maybe hold you to better standards, and all y'all who use it, especially in the United States of America. There are a lot of people who think you're thinking that you're protected by something. And I am just an honest person who has been online for a very long time. I have seen people, okay, have their entire house taken, all their electronic devices, by federal law enforcement because they thought stupid things about how the internet works and how clever they are. Okay, like I've seen real life people. I didn't know them very well, but I've seen real life people like their house. I'm like, oh, that's a bunch of freaking such and such agents. My next door neighbor, like, what the hell is going on? I find out. All because of internet activity. And that's social media. Anything that's using ISP is internet server provider, right? Well, things are going to have to get tested in court, and there needs to be a whole lot more yapping and flapping about the stuff that's happening in court using, yes, information technology. Because the human using the computer and all that other stuff is the one ultimately responsible for any damage caused to someone in the way of psychological, playing games online, lying to them about, scams. I know somebody sniped me, and I know what the profile is, and I check certain things to make absolutely sure, right? And I got sniped. Okay? In the United States of America, we need to understand safety on the internet way, 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 way better. Buddy, 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 buddy up, buddy, buddy up. Everybody, test your own skills and knowledge. And like I said, the elders should probably team up with some youngsters, because the youngsters, if they don't know it, they'll probably figure it out with you, can show you the basics and help you and write it down, right? And then, but the youngsters need to be around some elders who know when they're looking at the internet, oh no, it's not for you. Okay? Right. Like, you're not ready for that, or that's for people who are doing this and that. Okay? It's every single human being's job in order to enjoy the freedoms of the United States of America without disruption. Right. Okay? And that's what I'm saying, people with spiritual gifts. Like, I don't really care if somebody tests me. Sometimes it's because they can't understand it. There's some who I guess I don't quite understand. Okay? And when there's an emergency having to do with a certain bloodline, I stop everything. Everything. Even to the point where it causes me harm. Sometimes I'm loyal enough, even to the point where it causes me harm. Sometimes people think that everything works like on TV, and that is not the truth. Okay? But I am saying, team up, have a friend over, like, make sure everybody is talking about how you're using the internet and some of the things you've put online. And, buddy, buddy up. But for the elders, get with some youngsters, because their brains are built on technology, so they understand this stuff better, can explain it. But elders, get involved and find out what they're looking at and what they're doing online. You understand? Okay? But I'm just going to keep saying it. I'm just going to keep saying it. In the United States of America, yes, you can be held liable and responsible for information that you put online. And I guarantee you, some of it is probably sitting in more than one server that you don't have access to. Okay? So now, if you're feeling insecure about the whole thing, that's good. That's a good thing to feel. You're definitely off on the right foot. And put your left foot behind you and back the fuck off me. Okay? There are people who don't know what it's like. Okay, if you haven't been raped and tortured, you don't have anything to say to me, because you have zero knowledge or experience in that. Like I said, there's different kinds of abuse. Okay, so yes, this is what now we have to deal with on the internet. There's no other choice. Okay, using the internet to consistently bully someone to the point where they're just right. Okay, some people just can't handle that, and so you have to understand when you're in public internet that one, I keep saying this, sometimes text, you read in text, some people put things, they interpret it differently, the way people think in certain language. Okay, I say it a lot, I'm going to keep saying it. But something smells. It's the light bulb. this this new, yes, I'm gonna have to change that to a green. I only have red and green. That's all I can afford. That's $1.25 plus tax for it. Right. Okay. I just keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it, and it's probably why I don't have a lot of views. But I will. And some of this is meant for later for some people. Okay. And also, I'm saying it's everybody's responsibility who is a legal U.S. citizen to give a shit about helping be a cohesive group of individuals called citizens and legal non-permanent. Yeah, and the few others. Okay, people, you want to just keep skipping over the fact that laws are being broken. These aren't precedents. Some of these things are going to have to be reversed, as a matter of fact. All right. So your internet activity can and will be in some cases you're used against you in an actual real court of law. Now, they will have people to check to make sure that somebody didn't steal your identity or use your, I mean, they're not stupid, okay? Like, they will make sure, beyond any shadow of a doubt, right, it's you or someone you let use your computer. Probably not a good idea. Have two different identities if you're going to do that. Have someone who knows how to do that. But yeah, two different users can use the same, but you have to log out, and the other one needs to log in. Okay, find somebody who does that, or look on Google or wherever. Maybe it's a reason for you to talk to somebody. Like trying to think of a reason to talk to somebody. Like you really want to talk to somebody, but there you go. There's an in, and it's helpful because they might actually know. And if they don't, then you still win, man, because you just talked to that person, and it was a real legit question. Like, do you know anything about the computer? But in two different. It's a good icebreaker. Nerds and socially inept. I know I say socially inept, but some are. Yeah, I have to be honest. There's like people need to quit catty bitching each other online. Yeah, I know when it's ice hockey people, and I know when certain ice hockey things. Right, other people who aren't ice hockey long time. I'm of course I'm gonna love ice hockey for the rest of my life. Like, can't fall out of love with ice hockey. Yeah, and that's been a problem for me actually. Yeah, bigger problem than some people might think. But I say what I say because I need footage, but also because a lot of this, yes, you're gonna ignore it, and people are gonna try and shut it down, and there's no reason why. Okay, so everybody needs to take it easy on each other and wait like a day before you respond, and make sure you reread it. Okay, like that's what I'm getting at. It's just like, okay, it like they shouldn't be able just to randomly decide to kick you off of a stream because you're speaking what you know as the truth online and expressing yourself. And that right is guaranteed to U.S. citizens. So a U.S. citizen or anyone else doesn't have a right to take that away from them. Our rights are perfectly fine, man. The Constitution holds. Okay? Every single United States citizen and legal resident or legal visitor, vacationist, whatever you are, none of the other country. I mean, there's tons of countries, right? We don't come here purposely here to do some kind of harm and study up on what abuse is. That's why I'm saying, oh no, pro bonos, especially if you're Christian. Sometimes you can't hang on to the money. Sometimes you got to help other Christians and not worry about the money. That is kind of how that goes. But I'm kind of wondering, yes, who is the one teaching them that? Okay? So I am qualified as a spiritual healer in the United States of America. And a lot of people right now, it's sometimes hard to tell. I have said it before, I'm going to say it again. Not everybody has recovered from COVID or whatever the hell it was. See, the people don't come yelling and screaming at me, okay? Like, there's some people just cut you straight off online, and that's not fair. It's a free exchange of information. And if, you get somebody just doesn't like the way you look, or you accidentally typo something and they don't like clarify with you, and then they just block you from being on that channel. Well, in the United States of America, another citizen does not have the fucking right to do that, man. It's not like the internet is all. It's like people use the internet. Human beings made the internet. Right. I'm getting tired of the fact of fiction and don't be blurring lines ever again. Okay? Some of you, and I'm just going to say it, I've already said my piece when it comes to rock and rollers, and there's other music groups like pick one poison and get rid of the fucking rest. Because none of you are superheroes to me. None of you. Yeah. Well, here's my experience. Yeah, I was very young, but I got to go Aerosmith at the oldest, the first Hammerjacks in Baltimore City. I was too young, but right. And you could tell that at least one of them was totally drunk, and they didn't really like each other that much. And it was a shitty show. Stop making heroes, okay? Like, I understand people like Jeremy Renner got run over by some shit and died. Right. I get it. Everybody. Prayers. But why are these people's lives so much more important than everyone else's? Why look to them for examples when you can find them in the real fucking world? Okay? So I'm worldly. Oh no, don't be frightened. Some of you, I'm like, when we were yet pagans, hey, remember you guys fucked up really badly? Yeah, that was forgiven, wasn't it? Okay, then. All right. I know how people are, but I don't care. Okay. But yes, I mean, some people aren't understanding what my credibility is. And people do try and tear you down sometimes. Sometimes they do it because, yes, they want the best of you to come out. I'm not doing any of that. I've picked up on a couple things that I want the Center for Noetic Sciences to get. Like, yeah, that's not impenetrable. Right. There are things, I agree, if we all have our mind on, yes. Uh, but there are things that they might not have covered properly when they do certain types of experiments from the actual building, right, where the major main building is located. Because, yeah, you guys got holes. That's how I knew a few things. Right. Uh, just it. It's not something I've been doing my whole life. Not that I was aware of. But at some point between my 40s and 50s, yeah, the veil must have thinned seriously. But here's the thing: I mean, everybody wants to argue, and it's just like, look, there is a perfect plan. Okay, so we need to get rid of some of this intrigue. If you're bored, I mean, like, there's so much saturation on the internet. And oh, I can tell some people I experience some, yes, bleed through, which caused me damage too. Okay, remember, there's more than one kind of abuse. I've been dealing with these shit birds my entire damn life. And everybody on planet Earth needs to class it the fuck up. Everybody. And my goal was a better world for everybody. So that's why I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna pass it up. See what Jesus says. Maybe God will say yes. Sometimes yes is good. All right, but yeah, I'm gonna pass it over to Jesus, right? Because if there are enough of us, we can collectively curse fleas and ticks to their death. Make them, right, extinct. Fleas and ticks would be nice. Bed bugs, like dust mites and mites of every kind, right? That helps animals and us and everybody. Don't worry, you weirdo. Freaking, yeah, well, this is what I'm saying. Some of the activists, no, man, you're hitting terrorists. Yes, this is what I'm trying to say. Is like, if you do enough, then you're a domestic terrorist. Okay, you're not a rebel. You're just a fucking terrorist. But sometimes with this entertainment industry, so these motherfuckers aren't that goddamn special. Well, you can have your own life. They're human beings, okay? But some of them, like, yeah, they send rich people money. I hope you're feeling better. Here's I'm like, who decided? The internet has a lot of copied bullshit on it. The internet has a lot of interesting viewpoints on it. But in the United States of America, I'm sitting here and I'm using the internet. Okay? Right. I'm telling you, these cases will go to court. And I'm now ready to shove a few. Yep. Pissed me off that badly by your absolute. Yeah, there's one who needs certain kind of containment. Forever and ever, amen. Right. Right? Like, don't don't be walking around thinking about sexy little children. Some people on this planet are allowed to marry like 7 year olds. I don't know if that's fake news, but I've heard a few people and it does seem like yes. Children aren't meant for sex. Nobody's children are meant for sex. Elders are vulnerable too. People should be really, 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 really sitting down. Like, hi, politicians. Hey, like, fuck it. If I only got, 10 years or less left, I'm going to use it wisely and efficiently. Like, fuck getting a whole nother. I mean, come on, people. Like, what the fuck? Okay, nobody's cured me of anything. Anyway, but little children getting online and disrespecting people who have PhDs and who fought in wars and who, had to, get government protection. What's it called? Yeah, witness relocation, which put their lives in danger, and so many others. But yet the internet allows them to do that. And this is why we need to either stop using the internet altogether. That solves a problem, doesn't it? Or some people are going to have to go through the court system in the United States of America. Who wants to, be a part of precedent setting cases? Okay? Guarantee you. You can get caught. People try to tell you there's no laws that regulate the internet. I'm like, well, the internet isn't the problem. Yeah, it's the humans using it. Especially considering, they can put all kinds of shit in there and fuck everything up. And, yeah, well, we can do this. And so we need to buy all this other crap, too, right? It's this and that and the other thing. Well, you know what? You all should have provided us a safe internet in the first place if you want to be. Yep. And you can throw the tech talk at me all day long because I love it. Oh, God. Whew. Yeah, oh, God. I mean, talk about some sexy shit. Oh, yeah, see, my pants already fell off. Where are you going? Man, that quick. Go ahead. Baffle me with bullshit. That's not what we are able to do anymore. I want the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. I want the motherfuckers who are handling children like they're meant for sex to stop that right the fuck now. Just stop. Because to be honest, I'll make friends with the worst of the worst if I need to. Like what? Would I have a choice? Oh, I'll take vampire. Right. Nah, I got some connections in law enforcement. Like, yeah, just midnight up here, this certain particular place, and no one's ever around. It's a little back in the woods. Just handcuff them to like 100-pound picnic table. Save taxpayers lots of money. Oh no, I'm going way down dirty. Because for me, that's a step up, and yeah, see what I'm getting at. Okay, well, no, you see, if the internet provider is not, yeah, none of these things are in your EULAs either. Microsoft, others. Oh, I'll read the EULAs. Yeah, whatever. Sometimes just sitting around like waiting for something to happen, or I'm tired and I want to wake up, or just want to exercise my brain. I'll read the EULAs and I'll get small print. I can't help it. The dudes aren't. Yeah, understanding that there's one of them out there in the world who's missing out on me. Oh well, moving on then. Yep, that opens the door for other options. So some of the stuff that I've had to deal with online indicates to me a certain kind of immaturity. So might be that they're just too young for that conversation. But why is it that children from another country can get online and try and argue with, you know, decent adults who have degrees and have experienced a lot of life? You understand? Why do teenagers have the power to, you know, I don't like what you say, so they just block you? Okay, well, that's taking away my right. It takes away my right. Civil rights, I got rights. So, yeah, they've even fucked up my human rights, which is why I'm like United Nations. Okay? I don't know what to tell you. All right? I don't have time for paperwork. I gotta watch my ass everywhere I go because a lot of people don't want to hear the truth for real. Right. And people don't like it when I'm like sticking up for myself, when I'm just like, I don't care. You gotta see a doctor. Don't be coming at me like that. Maybe you got, senile. There's more than one reason sometimes why things happen. There's more than one way to interpret certain things. And sometimes it's just not even correct. I understand complex systems. But yes, the reason why I get kudos at any of my jobs, because this is something that I do above expectations all the time, right? Is find a way to take complex, complicated things and give a general, easy to digest to the larger general public, plain English explanation or description. Okay, some of us are disabled, and sometimes that disabled doesn't mean that we're missing an arm or a leg. Okay, right? Osteoarthritis is still happening on planet Earth, and so are a lot of other things like polio. Well, it says a lot how you're looking at things. Right, the human race is all over the planet. Whether that planet is flat or round, I don't really care. Right. So, because I sometimes, yes, only use a little bit of energy and, like laser focus on one particular gift that I have to do that. But the problem is that, yes, up until uh, 2011, or 2013, I had someone who would know to, yeah, be like, you need to eat and you need to stop and take a break. Like, yes, distraction. Otherwise, sometimes, yeah. I, I'll go hours and hours without drinking water. I'll go hours and hours and hours and hours without eating. And some people may not understand that, but it's called getting in the zone. And so when I got to narrow down like that, like, that's not how my brain works, motherfuckers. Some of you got duped badly. And some of you online should be paying attention to the fact that a lot of you are not really good judges of character. Because a lot of these people you praising online now, I mean, Lance Armstrong, go away. He shouldn't be making money off sponsorships. Nobody cares what he has to say anymore. He had so many opportunities to tell the truth. And he may have actually hurt the U.S. Postal Service because they were, yeah, okay, screw that. Get that crap offline. Get that crap out of here. There are people walking around this planet you happily you should use instead of him who didn't lie to everybody for a long time. Okay? There are honest people using the internet. Okay, there's a little too much paranoia, but on the other hand, this is what I was trying to say before. It's very limiting. Now, I have the right to be respected enough by either fake celebrities' accounts or the celebrities themselves. So I'm really hoping they were all fake. This is a nice coffee. I put a lot of ice in there so I can drink more liquid. Okay. And yeah, the quitting smoking thing is just sometimes I'm not like in the best moods. I try to like tell people I'm like I don't know. I'm gonna be snippy. Cigarettes. Yeah, I started smoking when I was 10. I'm 53 now. You see, that's like 43 years of doing something. So trying to like root that out of you, yeah, some stuff and associated with it, you feel like you can't. Right? Like it's weird driving without smoking at least one cigarette. It's weird talking to the phone. Although I don't really do that anymore. I just stopped talking to people, and it's just like, oh well, best best of like see you. You know, I hope your world is beautiful. I hope everything is perfect for you. Okay, that doesn't seem to happen. But that's the other thing is like I'm not gonna walk around. Whoa, is us in this fallen world. Doesn't matter if it's a dark one or a light one. Does it? How dark came light. All right. So, but even he recognizes the use for darkness. Right? But I'm a princess nonetheless. I had no choice. Right. Well, anyway, that's what I'm saying is that people need to have at least another opinion. Uh, that's all. That's all I know how to say to people about certain things. There are things online that just it's no, we aren't we don't want our rights as U.S. citizens to be stepped on anymore, especially by those who are using the false conclusion that the First Amendment right is going to protect you. Quite literally. So I'm hoping some of you just keep on coming because I want to make sure that you're going to get handled by the federal government. Like, okay, the things that happen in this world, and people complain all the time. Just like I made God Cares Ministries. I put out on local, what was it, nextdoor.com, like for a whole year. And on Twitter X for a whole year, looking for volunteers, right? Music ministry. I use my personal COVID money while I was sick. There was stimulus check. And while I was sick in the waiting room waiting for a doctor with COVID, by the way, I filled out the paperwork that somebody told me I need to pay like $1,500 for, that I did for $275 while I was sick. Waiting in the emergency room on their free Wi-Fi. Yeah, so I got accepted by the IRS, and I have a one of those numbers 85. I can't remember. Yeah, there's terminology, but but now, and I did all this paperwork and did all this stuff, and paid with my second stimulus check, okay, to get it registered and all these other things, the state, and yeah, you need to have official paperwork. You have to have things that are right. You got to go through a process. You got to have a registered agent. There's a lot of things. So what I'm saying is, those of you who claim to love God, I guarantee you that all of you probably have not been raped and tortured and lied to numerous times, have people do things that just aren't, they're just mean. Okay? I'm not saying that the person is mean, I'm saying they're mean. People don't care. And why they don't care is because they're under the mistaken that it like goes out into nowhere and police can do nothing about it. And you're just wrong. So yeah, I want some pro bono too. I mean, some of my intellectual property, yeah, I mean, it's worth a lot of money, right? And my civil rights are constantly being stepped on, which is another reason other countries hide. Okay, if you're in another country and you see this, can you give this to your government? Please find like immigration and find whatever you got. Okay, I need a sanctuary country. I understand my government doesn't give a shit about me. I am aware of that. But I have things and I do want to sue them. And also, my civil rights needed to be, right, upheld. And yeah, I have gone through more than one kind of trauma. My whole family's dead at 53. Yes, by the time I was 45, they were dead. Oh, no aunts, no uncles, no siblings, which is something else that I want to bring up. Like, well, how many of you in your lifetimes were raped and tortured? I didn't ask for that. Bullshit. Didn't have a choice. Get adopted into a family. It's like, all right, well, here we go. Okay, financial abuse is a thing. I collect evidence is what I do. So those of you who would like, I'm trying to tell you precedent setting cases. People see this and they do nothing. People claim that they were family, right? People, say I'm in it for the long haul, right? Probably never see you again. Bye. I've had enough of it, and I'm doing something. So I do. I need like lawyers. Oh yeah. If you know a lawyer, like yeah, this is like I got some class action suits, man. Right? I got some. I definitely my civil rights have just been stopped. Oh, I got witnesses. Oh yeah. I mean, it doesn't even matter. They try and change out the paperwork because. Right, it's been a fuck up the whole way. You understand? Like they just been fumbling balls and stumbling around and treating me like shit and trying to like, and then trying to make it saying like it's me, like I'm the bad guy. That's funny because I got a United States security clearance and I have no issues, no wants, no warrants with law enforcement. But by the way, people of the United States of America, thank you for helping the meek and the poor. Thank you, Christians, for making sure that one of your own was doing okay and had a roof over her head. Thank you, United States military personnel. Military fucking people are supposed to help other military motherfucking families. You're a disgrace. It's what you are.